Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you here. If you want to follow along with me today, we're going to be looking at a section of Proverbs. Solomon's going to give us some counsel that of some people to avoid. Beginning in the 24th verse of the 21st chapter, wise men avoid associating closely with those who live foolishly and wickedly. Doesn't mean we avoid them completely. We are to be witnesses. We are to share the gospel with them, but they are not our closest associates. So let's see who he's talking about here, beginning in verse 24. First of all, the proud and haughty scorner is his name who dealeth in proud wrath. Beware of the proud and the arrogant. Proud and haughty is the word that he uses here. And that is a phrase that is used several different times, actually, throughout the book of Proverbs. It is used actually three times here to describe the arrogance of how they live, that they are spiteful, that they are contempt. They have contempt towards the things of God. That they feel that their way is that they're wiser, that they don't need the instruction of God. Avoid those people as our close associates. The desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hand refused to labor. Obviously, one of the things that Solomon has a real problem with are the lazy. Beware of the lazy. The one who, again, the desire, he wants more, but he refuses to labor. He says, avoid being associated, being close associates with the lazy, those who refuse to labor, to get what they want. You can think of a lot of reasons for that. For one, just that mindset. Being too lazy to work for what you want often leads people to a life of thievery. And now you are intertwined with that kind of person. And so beware of the lazy. Verse 26, he coveteth greedily all the day long, but the righteous giveth and spare not. Once again, the lazy, particularly here, the lazy who is greedy, the lazy man who wants more. It's one thing to be lazy and not have anything, but to be lazy and desire more and more, be selfish, again, be willing to stoop to whatever level to get whatever it is they are desiring. He says those are dangerous people for us to be connected with. The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination. How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind? Those what he's saying is it's hard for us maybe to accept, but what he's saying is that everybody who comes into worship isn't worshiping for the right reason. That the sacrifice of the wicked, they're coming in, they're making a sacrifice, but they come in with a wicked mind. Avoid, be careful, again, of who we worship with. Not everybody, the Bible says, that says, Lord, Lord. And so not everybody sitting on the church pew has the right intentions and the right motives. And so he says, beware of that. A false witness shall perish, but the man that heareth speaketh constantly. Liars is the word we would use. Don't associate with the one that lies and the one that listens to him. Avoid those who deal and work in the untruth, in falsehood. Avoid those type of people. And then the final proverb in this section says, "A wicked man hardeneth his face, but as for the upright, he directeth his way." Again, somewhat the idea of the arrogant. Beware of the wicked man that are that don't think before they act. That act defiantly, that act boldly, and just continue in their sin with no thought. Avoid those kinds of people. And so we've got 6 proverbs here that show us 6 people, 6 types of people that Solomon says if they act like this, if this is the kind of person they are, if they practice these things, you need to avoid their influence on your life. Now, again, we need to strive to influence them in a positive way, in a godly way, that our Christian testimony would influence them. But we have to be very cautious that our testimony isn't marred, isn't damaged by our association with these types of people. And so it's a very fine line to walk that Solomon is describing, that we're not known by our relationship with these types of people because they can damage our Christian our Christian testimony in our community. Some real serious warnings again of some types of people that we avoid, that we're careful, that we're not recognized with, that we're not immediately associated with these types of people. It's one thing to associate. See if I can say this. It's one thing to associate with them. It's another thing to be associated with them. It's one thing to witness to them, to talk to them about the things of God, but we need to be careful that our reputation isn't damaged by the life that they live. Some serious things to think about there. You have a good day, and I will see you here tomorrow morning.